What a game. What a win. We thought it was going to be a playoff type atmosphere. The consequences of this one were huge when you look at the standings, which we'll show you in just a minute. But this was a fun one. We welcome you here to Sixers Postgame Live, brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Amy Fiddle alongside Mark Jackson. And Mark, I mean, I think you and I were down here. We're living and dying with every bucket, every possession on either team. But really down the stretch, the Sixers showed that kind of fight. I mean, they really had to come and play exceptionally well. They shot the ball well. They didn't rebound particularly well, but they got the stops when they need to, and huge defensive plays from Joel Embiid and VJ Edgecombe there at the end, too. Absolutely. I thought this is an incredible team win, Amy. We talk about being overall what teams need to do to win close games, and it's not just, lock in on one guy. I think it's important they have effort on both ends of the court from everybody, and I thought it was a great effort with Joel, Maxey, PG having great number of games, but it was other plays that were made by other guys in the team that might go unnoticed, like defensive plays, forcing turnovers, stuff like that led to this win. Well, I love that Tyrese Maxey, to your points, shouted out Andre Drummond,
yes, exactly.
Guy who didn't play the entire first half and then comes out big in that late game, late third quarter and early fourth quarter with Joel Embiid before he came back in. Let's check out the standings because this one was about securing that tiebreaker over the Hornets. The Hornets were in 8th entering this game. Now you can see they're in 10th. They're 2 games back of the Sixers. That's why this game is so important. Not only do the Sixers get separation between them and Charlotte, but they get them all the way down to 10th, which is hanging on. Now, these are the playoff teams. There's not going to be any more movement. The team that is in 11th and 12th, they're not moving up. It just depends on what the Hornets can do with their 8 games to go and what the Sixers can do as well. They have the tiebreaker. They do not have the tiebreaker against the Hawks. So that's why identical records, they're sitting in that 7th spot. But they have another big opportunity coming up against the Heat. But this one was a really big deal. Yeah, 12.5. You can see there that number over in the corner and highlighted as 13. That means they're only half game back of the Raptors. So if they can get up to that point, that would be huge. You'd love to get above that line and secure yourself in that playoff position rather than the play-in tournament. But this was a really big game. Joel Embiid had that big block at the end on Miller on the three-pointer, which would have tied it. Before that, you saw VJ Edgecombe have really good defense on LaMelo Ball. That created a turnover that led to Tyrese Maxey driving and getting those free throws. But it really is a team effort in a game like this. And it seems weird, I know, for people who are just tuning in and maybe aren't familiar with the Hornets. The Hornets came in as one of the hottest teams since January 1st. That starting lineup that started tonight for Charlotte was 27-5. Think about that. They were 27-5. They have one of the best records since January 1st. So it's a pretty big sample size, and they had won 5 in a row. The Sixers needed everybody to come out in this one, and they did. Paul George, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey back after missing 10 games, those guys combining for 81 points.
Absolutely. Them 3 guys came through tremendously. Paul George come back with a double-double, if I'm not mistaken. These guys really look like a well-oiled machine, Amy. The way everyone contributed, but those 3 right there, they had their stretches.
Yeah.
Paul George, even though he finished at 26, he was a silent assassin tonight because his plays weren't as big. But then you look at the stats, 26 points, 13 rebounds. You said, well, where did he get that from? I don't remember this. I don't remember that. But he still came through, and Joel and Maxey is doing what they do.
Especially him out there late. He had already picked up his 5th foul, so you wondered if he was going to be out there late, but they needed him at crunch time, and he came up big. He had a big 3. But let's show you how this one came down to the wire. It is our Colonial Nissan game changer. And this is how you change a game because you have a minute and a half to go. This looks like a mistake. It looks like he was going to try to pass the Concaniple, and he just saw the opening because there was the switch. Joel Embiid was on him and was lagging off because it looked like he was going to pass it right here. And this is just I'll take that 3. And so they go back in front. Sixers on the seesaw.
Absolutely. It came through. It's a back-and-forth game. True Warriors being Warriors. Look at this. Look at the little fade with the little cush right there. Poof.
So that was off an inbounds play after the Sixers got the rebounds. Grant Williams actually tried to get the rebound off of a missed free throw and it went out of bounds. So the Sixers had that play right underneath the basket, which I loved that play with a little curl out at the bottom. And then this is Tyrese Maxey after a turnover, just driving a straight in, gets fouled.
Doing what he does, getting downhill. His speed is so off-kilter, teams don't know how to guard him.
So it's a 3-point game. That looked like it was good. It was down and almost in, and then it goes
Watch how they switch. Look how Joel's denying Knipple from getting it back.
Right.
Force Joel to take that shot from the hash.
So they get that off the underneath. LaMelo driving in, wants it to Miller, who's been great from 3, and a huge block right there.
Joel, Hines, and B coming to beat the big defensive play. Look at the energy from the bench. Look at that. Give me that. I'm taking that with me.
You can see it again here, just rising up. And Miller's not a small guy. This guy's like 6'6", 6'7". He was 5 of 11 from 3. So this is one last chance. LaMelo, PG chasing him all over.
George is all over him.
Gets enough separation. I thought, oh no. And then they foul quickly. They foul PG. He makes 1 of 2 in this one. But this is really good. The denials on the back end right
Even
there.
after he goes to the fake, he still has a great contest, Amy.
Still pulls his arm
Good contest by PG.
Right. Pulls his arm right back. I was a little bit concerned with the foul there, given the fact that it was a 3-point shooter, but he was able to have good defense. So he missed the first, and then we were wondering, you make the second?
Exactly.
You make the second because
boom,
it's a 4-point game.
win.
There's nothing you can do there. Handshakes and smiles and hugs all around. This was a well-earned game. One of the best wins of the year. And it has to be said so because of what it meant in the standings and what it means to have everybody back with now 8 games to go. Let's check in with Nick Nurse after his team's win in Charlotte.
Just in that fourth quarter when you guys really came on, just what specifically ignited that? I mean, we could talk about a lot of individual performances, but just what do you think collectively sort of allowed you guys to really make your charge in the final period?
Well, we hung in there till the fourth. I thought we took a couple massive scoring runs from them and didn't, let that kind of answered back there pretty quickly and hung in there. But I think 0 offensive rebounds in the fourth, right? It's huge. I thought Drum came in and gave us a big lift there. I thought Paul George was getting some big rebounds late. Tyrese got a few. And then we were just, that helped us, because we were getting stops. They shot a pretty low percentage most of the night. So there was going to be a lot of rebounds to get, and we just couldn't get them there in the first 3 quarters, but cleaned it up. And then that obviously, kept the score low for them.
With Tyrese's first game back, obviously when he had the pinky thing last year, that it clearly affected his shooting. Mm-hmm. To see that, at least today, it did not. How encouraging is that moving forward? That it seems to he can sort of get right back into it. Yeah,
I think that maybe some of that last year helped him, get used to it a little bit or whatever. But he obviously was not affected at all by it. Eased him in with 43 minutes tonight on his return. He was fantastic.
Yeah, you just mentioned Paul. Just how big was he down the stretch? It seemed like it looked like when Charlotte was getting ready to pull away, Paul kind of eased things a little bit on the offensive end.
He hit a couple big ones that when we were down double digits, I thought that I think really sparked us. He made both plays there on the free throw rebound and the corner 3 on the execution of the OB. I mean, he hit several big shots for us. Yeah.
You mentioned the offensive rebounding, and their 3-point shooting as well. It's like, coming into the game, that's what they're going to try to do. Just what makes them so good at both of those 2 things? And I guess how were you, besides maybe just, you mentioned Paul and Andre, able to sort of curtail it finally and sort of figure both of those parts out?
I mean, it's difficult because it's, as you guys saw, it's coming so fast. Like the triggers are unbelievably quick, right? It's up the floor. It's pulling off the dribble. It's throw ahead, catch and shoot from the corner. If you get them in an action, those guys sprint to the other side. They whip it to the other side. They catch and shoot immediately. Like there's just zero hesitation on any of it. So any getting clipped a little bit on a screen or I don't know, they had not a bunch, but a few where they caught it, looked us in the eye, and we think, well, they're 10 feet behind the line. They're not going to shoot it, and they shoot it and make it. So that's one thing. It's just, you got to get used to the speed and the quickness of the triggers of several guys. That's part of it. The distance is another thing. And then the rebounding's just, a bunch of guys that like, again, I think they're so ready for everybody to shoot so quickly that the guys are revving up to go to the glass. As soon as the ball's even getting swung to the other side, it seems like everybody's crashing from the other weak side of the floor.
What'd you think of Kelly in his first game back after a couple of weeks too?
Great second half, right? I thought he was really, really struggling, as you might think a guy would after not playing for a while in the first half, just the speed and rhythm and stuff. But he got a couple great cuts to the rim. Tyrese made a great play call for him on that dunk he had down the lane. That was all Tyrese's idea, and he set it up and pitched it around the corner, and Kelly turned the corner. So that was again a nice play. And then I thought Kelly was really good defensively there, and he had, the minutes for him were a little lower than normal for him. So I think that did give him some extra energy in the fourth to really get out there and guard.
And then just overall, we talked about the importance of this game yesterday, going into today.
Yep.
Just at least from my perspective, like the crowd was into it. Obviously, your bench was into it. Did that feel like okay, this is like a playoff type atmosphere?
It was super intense. I thought for the most part, when it was really, really tense there in the fourth, I thought we made some very poised decisions. We ran a great out of bounds play that was a huge three we hit, great execution. I thought we made a couple mistakes on defense, but they weren't that bad. I think they LaMelo hit a bomb on one of them that wasn't really a mistake. He just hit a bomb, and then we shored that up the rest of the game and went to another coverage, and they executed it. They executed the defense on the end of game plays late too. So I thought we showed great composure in a pretty tense situation.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it kind of seemed like once Charlotte got a big, that could have been an opportunity, not an opportunity, but that could have been a moment where guys just fold. I guess what was it kind of say about your team to be able to dig deep?
I was super worried during that point. Again, I think that all these guys just coming back and not having much conditioning and the speed of the game, and I was super worried that a couple guys that might have gone past their kind of conditioning threshold at that point. And I got super worried, but again, I think a couple of Paul threes kind of reignited the group. We had a couple quick subs. Those guys went in and did a nice job of playing hard and giving those guys a little bit of a break.
And then just what did you think of VJ's night? It just kind of seemed like, again, he was able to shake off a slow start and still be able to give you guys such a big impact, on both ends. Yeah,
pretty good night for him. I think the biggest thing he did is he had a huge three out of the timeout. That really was big. Would have liked him to rebound a little bit more because he's one of our best at coming flying from the outside to kind of grab those. But he was super solid. Got in a little foul trouble, so his minutes were down. But he was really solid, and like hardly any mistakes. Yeah.
Nick, to see you guys whole. And it hasn't been like this all year. What kind of relief does that bring in? Do you still have enough time to get these guys acclimated for the postseason to bring your team in the whole?
I think we're going to find out, right? It's pretty short, 8 games to go. Kind of glad that we had to push the minutes out a little bit tonight with these guys just to see where they're at. I think everybody comes out of tonight okay as well. So hopefully we can, in these 8 games, that they can all hit the floor and we get as much time together as we can. It's not a lot, but we need to maximize it. Yeah. Thanks, Coach. Okay.
Not a lot. They've had 18 games together, and now that's less than a quarter of the games they've played. But boy, was this a big one for them to get all back together. Tyrese Maxey, Kate Scott pointed out, he was supposed to be reevaluated March 31st. It's the 28th. Reevaluated on the 31st, and he's back.
And normally, what did we think about that when we first heard that? But if they say the 31st, he probably went back for another week after
second,
that.
maybe only 6 games ago. I came back a little bit earlier than that timeline, and he said it. Listen, his legs were great. Finger felt okay. That's really all that matters. And he scored 26 points, helped the Sixers get their 41st win of the year, and get a huge tiebreaker over a team that's trying to chase them down in the standings.
Absolutely. I love the effort. Everyone, they're on a mission, Amy. And I think you heard Kelly Oubre's interview yesterday about how long as he can play, nobody was stopping him from playing.
Yep.
Then you see how Maxey, I wanted to play in front of him. Guys understand the mission, and they all want to be part of it. I love that.
Yeah, they know it's a stretch run that's going to secure their spot wherever it's going to fall, whether it's in the playoffs or in the play-in. They'd love to get up to that 6th or 5th spot. We're going to talk about that and check in on the contributions of Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Paul George, Kelly Oubre, everybody helping. And this one is a complete Sixers win as we clap your hands. We'll be coming right back here on Sixers Postgame Live, brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance.